The number one lie told to all student athletes. The number one lie told to all student athletes.
Hoop loud.
A big reason why I decided to start this channel had everything to do with I got tired of celebrities that were athletes get behind the podium and mislead young student athletes or young athletes in saying the classic line. Someone asked them, how'd you make it to where you made it? And they say, because I worked hard, because blood, sweat, and tears. I was the first one in the gym and I last one out. I was the first one in the weight room, last one out, and all that stuff. And all that stuff is great. These are good habits to form. But to be able to say that is the only reason why you made it, you're misleading a whole generation. And that's the thing that's why I started this channel, because I felt like, that's not something that's true. So I wanted to make sure I started a channel kind of letting people know that. Is it an ingredient? Yes, but it's not the only ingredient. And if you watch my last video, I'll link it up again, and it was just talking about my deal about trying to go see Zion Williamson. I woke up super early in the morning, first one in the gym, and it didn't happen. It wasn't because anybody worked harder than me. If I took you to your state school, whether it be University of New Mexico, whether it be UNC, North Carolina, whatever it is, and I take you to a lecture hall, and I say, well, I can tell you who has the A in this classroom. You say, how can you tell me that, Bill? And I say, well, it's whoever worked the hardest. That's the craziest thing that you could ever say, because there's so many different variables that even though you work hard, may decide if you are successful. There's reading disabilities. There's not having a great foundation of that subject before you got to that class. There's people that cheat. So for me to say I can tell you who has an A in the class based on whoever works the hardest is crazy. The same rules apply for sports. It grinds my gears when you hear somebody behind the podium tell kids that, I made it here because I worked hard. Really? Now I know why they say that. They say that because it adds to their legacy to say things like, I never lost a sprint. To say things like, I was the first one in the gym, last one to leave. Listen, I was the first one in the gym, last one to leave for much of my career. No one could ever say that I was the best shooter. No one could ever say I jumped the highest in any of my career, whether it be high school or whether it be in college.
But one thing people did say about me is how hard I worked. How hard I worked. My work ethic was second to none. But even with that said, there were people that were starting over me that did not work harder than me, that didn't take the game serious. So it wasn't because I worked hard that I was going to start and make all the points and get all the accolades. That's not the case. Just because you work hard, it doesn't mean you're going to get the goal that you set out to get. It's not what's going to happen every time.
So this whole notion that just because you work hard, that means you get this. That's not what it is. That's not reality. You should work hard because you want to get better. You should work hard because you enjoy the game of basketball, the game of whatever you play. You enjoy it that much that you want to work hard. You want to put all your effort into it so you can be the best you can be, because you realize that the opportunity to do so is very, very small. That's why you should work hard. Not because it guarantees success, because it doesn't in any situation. I make an example of someone being married for 50 years. You ask someone that's been married for 50 years, maybe it's your parents, ask them, how'd you make it, Mom? How'd you make it, Dad? I guarantee you they won't be saying, well, it's because we worked hard. They may say that's an ingredient, but it's not the only thing. Surely they're gonna say it took some patience, it took some communication, it took some grace. Even if the couple's atheist, I'm pretty sure they'll say it took some prayer. It took some prayer for us to be where we're at right now. Not just working hard. Nothing materializes just because you work hard. What people are making the mistake of believing is just because you admit that other things, other variables were the reason that you got there, other than just working hard, they think it's a knock against them. Everybody wants to be self-made. Everybody wants to be gods, and this is me, and I do all this, is all about me. But when you really analyze it, there's so many variables that come into place, some that you have control over and some that you don't have control over. So what are you saying, Bill? Are you saying that I should not work hard? No. What I'm saying is to realize there are other variables that come into place other than just working hard. And it's not necessarily about just the scholarships, just the trophies, just the accolades. It's about what you become in the process of that.